Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Everyone, excuse the car noises. We are going to the library. It is like above 40, which is insane. There's no wind right now, so we are going to take a little walk and see our school bus friends. But first, we've got books that are due after the long weekend. We are out walking. It is amazing. I mean, it's cold. It's just barely over 40, but 40 seems to be my minimum for being out here. I have 2 pairs of gloves on, and I have an extra hat if I need to put 2 hats on. But so far, we're doing okay. We are going to do a small forest loop. So we parked at the bus stop park. I don't want you to do that because it's hard to steer. And we are cutting into our forest loop halfway, and then we'll be on it and we'll head back and we'll end up back where our car is. But yeah, we're so excited to be outside getting fresh air. The park. We're not freezing. I mean, he refuses to take his mittens off. It's all wet, dude. Don't pick it up. Somebody left the soccer ball. Yeah, it's wet though. All right, have fun. Anyway, we have a little bit of time before the bus comes. We got to figure out what we're going to do the rest of the week. I think it's going to be back to really cold tomorrow, so not a walk day probably, but potentially we could come here. We could come to the school as well. I think they're going to be giving food for the rest of the week tomorrow because we have a winter storm coming Wednesday night. So we might look at the meal schedule and figure out if we want to get hot lunch from the school. They do tend to give a bigger variety of frozen foods at the school when there's a snowstorm coming. I don't know, but he's having fun playing. Yeah, we're gonna leave the ball there because it's somebody's. Play with your trucks, and then we'll get on with our day.
It's a peak bag, but it's for boys too.
He likes things.
He does?
Yeah. What'd you get? Candy. Valentine's.
Yeah, because we didn't see you on Valentine's Day.
And you say thank you. You're so cute. Thank you for Valentine's candy. I also like making a hair.
You thought our hair looked pretty?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey friends, we are back and we have eaten. Not only that. Okay, put it on the counter in there.
Okay, if I get one.
That's okay. We actually just, oh, there's undies on the floor. Bananas. We actually just went and dropped my husband off at the car dealership so he can pick up his Jeep. There's a lot of back and forth with the dealer in New York that he got the car from. They did not follow through on a number of things they were supposed to fix contingent on him buying it. So this place was fixing those things because he had this big guarantee. It's all covered, but he's supposed to pay a deductible, and he is contesting that because they had agreed to do all of it. This warranty is supposed to be for other stuff. Oh, looks like he's home. Daddy's home, so he wasn't too far behind us. Yeah, so it was so nice to see our school bus friends, wasn't it? Yeah. You just wanted to talk about your monster trucks, didn't you? What did they give you though?
Candy.
Was it good? You had a piece?
Yeah, I have one of them.
He was so sweet when we were leaving. He's like, I liked Miss Tina's hair. I think it looks different. It looks good, right? So we made sure when he said thank you and sent them a video to say that. But yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It seems like maybe they only get a week of schedule at a time, or they are right now. But anyway, the buses apparently are only running food today. We do have winter weather starting. Okay, well tell me after I'm done my video and I'll grab you something. There's winter weather coming Wednesday night, so I think the rest of the week is going to be no food pickups. But tomorrow morning should be fine. I asked them if the school was still doing food because it's mac and cheese day, Sebastian's favorite meal of the month. And he said yes, the schools are still doing food tomorrow. I have a feeling they're going to give us a ton if they're doing Wednesday through Sunday. But I mean, it wasn't too much today. We only get one and the boys split it. There was like 3 breaded chicken patties, 2 grilled chicken patties, all the buns for those, a French bread pizza, and a pizza stick. Then there was like some frozen PBJs, which I'm probably gonna have to toss. We do have peanut butter. We're good on that. They just never eat the peanut butter ones. And yeah, some lunchy stuff. A whole bunch of snacks for a snack bowl. The kids always pick those when they need a snack or lunch. So Jax had a breaded chicken sandwich and Sebastian had a grilled chicken patty cut up, as well as one of the little bagels they gave us and a fruit cup. So we're making good use of the food. It was a little funny. Once he told them about all of his monster trucks, he's like, okay, bye. I think he's used to them rushing, and they actually hung out for a while. We didn't see them leave. Like, we drove away and we took our time getting back into the car. I'm like, don't you want to stay and chat? But I think he was kind of over the cold and not used to it. I had a feeling he would be a little bit awkward just not having seen them in a while. He was happy to talk to them, but he was just carrying on about monster trucks that he brought and ones that he had at home. And then after he was done, I think he didn't know what to say, and he was just like, okay, bye. But he was really happy to see them, and I was too. It's great to see a familiar face when you see nobody, just the inside of your own house. So we're gonna do a very late quiet time. It is 3:25. He's very whiny, but he's tired and yawning and really needs this. I might have to go down and get a toy from downstairs because he's like, but I wanted to bring something up. Yeah, so I'm gonna go put my hair up and start quiet time. Sit. Ready?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ziggy. Happy birthday to you.
Sit. No, let go. Let him get it out. What's that? What's that?
Yes! You have a new roadkill.
What'd you get?
Yeah,
He wants the roadkill first. You can just set it down. He'll go do it later.
I'm so crazy and not scratch it and chew it up.
Bedtime. I'm so frustrated. My husband was out in the garage immediately after dinner until 9 o'clock, as he does, because that's when the kids go upstairs. So he hides. I tried to hide downstairs. I sewed them each a mask and I was gluing some more books, but I had to keep leaving because they were beating each other up and screaming. I had to send them to their rooms, and then immediately Sebastian got out of his room because he had to poop. Of course, perfect timing. So yeah. Anyway, our day. Got up, breakfast, Jack started school, but for Sebastian we headed out to the library. We had to pick up holds and we had things that were due. He got to choose a new tablet, and we grabbed a couple of the recommended books that they have there, so they were really quick to get. We then headed to the park, where we parked and then did a half forest loop. We ended up having enough time. We could have done the whole one. I just didn't want to cut it too close because he did want to play at the park, but yeah, we had more time than we needed. It was still nice. We were cold, but I survived with one hat instead of two, and I did need 2 pairs of gloves. He needed his mittens on. But it has since gotten super cold and super windy. It's gonna feel like 12 degrees in the morning. I know the rest of the country has way colder wind chills. Like poor Texas, there's millions of people without power and water because they are not set up for like 2-degree weather and stuff. But I mean, it's cold, so we won't be walking outside. Maybe I'll take them to the mall if I'm gotten over how obnoxious they're being today, because we are gonna get messy winter weather very soon. They're trying to say like 5 inches of snow and sleet, but every time they say that, we get a dusting. Anyway, after we got to the park and played for a while, we saw the bus come. It didn't pull into the park, I think because there were some people there, and they don't pull up when there's people that might be getting food. I didn't see anybody else get food. But we headed over. Sebastian really wanted to show the monster trucks, as I said, and he just carried on and on and on about monster trucks. I don't know what they're doing. I think just because he hadn't seen them in so long, that's just all he could think about. Sebastian, what are you doing?
Like messing around with his balloon.
One more time of playing with your balloon instead of sitting and listening. And there's no videos. You are being very obnoxious tonight. Nobody likes it.
Sorry.
Not too far away.
Sorry, that was probably loud over them. But yeah, I think he was having a little bit of my awkwardness. He just wanted to say that and then get out of there as fast as possible. But as we were leaving, he was talking to me, like things he could have said to them. He was saying, Miss Tina's hair looks so nice. I think she changed it. And he said, Mr. Skip is my best friend. I'm like, oh, buddy, you didn't have to rush away, but I mean, I think he needed to. I thought he was just going to be really quiet because he does tend to get shy and shut down. Sebastian, no thank you. I'm about to cut off his little Lego time-lapse videos he gets after this. But yeah, a little bit of an awkward leave, and we don't know if we'll see him again. I'm hoping that next week we will. There's going to be some warmer weather, like in the 50s, so fingers crossed that we get to start walking again. It was nice to have a little bit of one and not have to run inside the house. Then we headed home, unpacked the food. As I said, the boys had some chicken, and we did quiet time after dropping my husband off in Leesburg at the car dealership. So he's getting things sorted out. I think they were covering stuff, so he shouldn't have to pay for any of this. He's figuring out other problems, like how rattly it was, I guess a fender clip or something. It's his big project car. He has to spend a lot of money up front, of course, because he's buying it, and he's buying suspension, and he's buying wheels, and he's buying all the tools he needs to do all those things. But I guess that's his project, and I feel guilty for buying a $30 dollhouse kit. But it is what it is. We're doing what we can to survive in this pandemic. After dinner, I had a work edit. It was my fault. I had edited the incorrect version of a file. So it was a quick fix, and I sent off the right one. And then we ended up ordering Mediterranean bowls, but since the kids had had chicken already, Jax wasn't going to want chicken, which is the only thing he'll get there. So I made them peanut butter banana sandwiches. I think Sebastian would have eaten his dinner if he had gotten the pork kebab that he normally gets from the Mediterranean place, but he wanted to be like his brother. And then he didn't eat a sandwich, so he didn't earn a treat, and he was upset, and he's taking it out on everybody by being a butthole. And here we are. I already told you about all the drama while I was downstairs, so I can't wait for them to be asleep. Yay, parenting. Some days it's just so fun. I've been slowly working at my hair, even though I am not a super pink lover. It's not my favorite color. It looks good on me. Been collecting pink clothes because I come back to pink hair a lot. And yeah, don't really want to bleach my hair anymore for a long time. I definitely lost some split ends off the end. My hair feels soft and healthy, but I measure it every time, and it was an inch past my comb. So like, I know it's hard to visualize, but it would be like out to here. And now some of the parts have dropped down an inch, and it was like the dried split ends. I've always got split ends my whole life, even before I bleached or anything. I just have thin hair. So I'm not upset about it. It is what it is. It's frustrating because I have so many sections that are shorter than that. Like this whole front is shorter, and then like back here is shorter. I tend to shed more heavily around there, and then the middle section, There's a few patches that shed heavily, but mostly that grows fairly long. And back here does pretty well too, even though that's like where my head rubs the pillow. Doesn't seem to bother it. That area doesn't shed. It's all hormones, and who knows, maybe medical issues. I have all sorts of little things that bother me, like especially digestive and like eating and having phlegm. So I'm sure there's something going on, but I'm not bothered enough to worry about it. And since I keep my hair braided up, I'm not feeling the need to go seek answers for why my hair falls out. I've had it out of braids like after Jax was born, thinking that I needed to have this mom haircut and give it a break because it was all shedding so heavily. I hated it. I was miserable. I hated it. And I cut it so short to deal with all the little short bits that it ended up with as it started shedding. And this was without any braids, like pulling on it. It just like all fell out, and I just had to wait so long for it to grow back that I was like, I'm never doing that again. So I kept braids in when I went through the great shed after Sebastian was born, and I had to lose an entire row along my neck and completely, I went from like 120 braids to like 90, maybe less, maybe 80. I had to take bigger sections because my hair was so thin, and I had to make the braids thinner so that they weighed less. So it wasn't a good look. I looked really bald, but the hair has grown back. I have braids here again. Like this is still pretty thin, so I wish I could have more braids there, but these are my baby hairs that never grow, so there's nothing I can do about that. But I'm so glad that I have hair again here. When he was like 0 to age 1, it was the worst. But yeah, I've just had these waves of hormonal shedding, and I'm waiting for it to finally die down since he's weaned. But yeah, I keep talking about this and it's not interesting to you, so sorry about that. I bet you skipped. Good night, guys. Stay safe, stay warm, and don't forget, wash your hands.